Alex Johnson here, and today we're just going to walk through a couple of the features that you should be looking for once you are in a Zoom meeting, just to ensure that you have the most control over the meeting and you can avoid any possible disturbances. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to start a new meeting using my persistent meeting room ID. So I'm just going to click on that. So I have the meeting room open over here. I'm just going to mute myself. I'm not going to turn my video on because I already have the Loom video, but what I do want to do is just show you a couple of the features that I mentioned. So first and foremost, you're in a meeting, you have your participants list over here, and you realize that you forgot to share a link with someone and you need to invite them quickly and easily to the meeting. So right down at the bottom, you do have this invite option. So if I click on invite, I get a little email that pops up. I can choose people from this list. One of the other nice things is we're all now connected to the ASB domain, so you can actually search for people in contacts, which was not there before. The easiest way also is just you can copy the invite link. So if I click on that, it says it's been copied to the clipboard. What I'll do is I'm just going to paste it right here. And you can see that this link, if I share that with someone, they just click on it and they're immediately able to join. Second thing I want to share with you is about managing the participants. So looking over here again at the participant list, there's a couple things that you can do to get more control of the people that are joining. We already talked about waiting rooms, and I'm sure everybody's already enabled a waiting room, which is great. But I also want to just show you how over here you have the ability to mute all participants. So if I click on that, I'll be able to mute everyone by clicking on yes. And so if, for example, you have someone join your meeting or someone forgot to mute their microphone, and you, instead of searching through your whole list of participants to figure out who it is, just click on mute all. If you want to go even one step further, you can just uncheck this, right? The ability to allow participants to unmute themselves, and then just click on yes, and everyone will be muted in the room and they cannot unmute themselves. At that point, you can take stock of the situation, identify or talk in the chat, figure out which student forgot to mute themselves or whatever it might be. And then when you're ready, allow participants to unmute themselves over here. Right, so now I can choose that, or if I want to, I can unmute them by just clicking on this button again, or I can go through and unmute people this way, right? So just a really easy way to do that. A couple other things over here. Say, for example, you have all your students that they've joined the class, you're ready to go, and you want to have additional level of security. Then what you can do is you can actually lock the meeting. So by clicking on lock meeting, nobody else is going to be able to join, right? Obviously, if a student disconnects and they need to rejoin, you need to make sure that you don't have your meeting room locked. So I can go back here, click on that again, now they can join. So just when you're trying to do something and you don't want any distractions, say for example your students are presenting, maybe you're having an important meeting, you don't want people to be trying to join your meeting, you can just lock it that way. A couple other things to go over here. Down at the bottom here with the sharing of the screen, I'm sure everybody's been exploring this, but just to give you an idea of a couple of the more advanced features here. The first thing is, it's been set up by default that just one person can share their screen at a time. You can enable multiple people to share their screen simultaneously. This can be really good if you want students to be working on something and you would rather be looking at what they're working on their computer as opposed to what you're looking at with the actual student video. Let's continue with the share screen options here. So if I go into share screen, I can go to advanced sharing options. This is where again, one person sharing at a time or multiple, and also by default it's only hosts, so when you want a student to share, you enable that anyone can share. And then when I click on share screen, you'll see that there are a couple different things that pop up. You have all the windows, right? You also have the screens that you're using. I'm using two different screens, so that's why I have two here. Otherwise, you have the windows that you have available. You can share just those windows. You can share your computer sound. So if you're playing a video or you have a timer on and you have some calming music and you're doing a little bit of a wellness break, or you want to have some music playing while kids are working, whatever it might be, you can share your computer sound. If you are playing a video, it is highly recommended that you choose this option to optimize the screen sharing for video clip. It will usually make the video much more smooth. Over here under advanced, there are some other things that you can do. So these are some new features. You can explore those and take a look at them, sharing just a portion of your screen or using a PowerPoint as a virtual background. One more thing I want to show really quick, just in the Zoom settings, one of the things you'll have noticed over here is I have over in the participants list, I have these buttons, yes, no, go slower, go faster. Over here I have need a break, away, right? So these are just non-verbal reactions. It's a good way just to get a check-in if you ask a question, or let me know when you're done, mark yourself as yes, you're ready to go. So especially when you have a class, there's going to be several participants. There's a lot of ways you can use it. So I've been using it in my classes, and just to give you an idea of how to enable it, you can go into your Zoom settings. So right here, I've just gone into my Zoom account on the website. I've gone to the in-meeting basic option here, and then there's this non-verbal feedback. So you can keep that enabled. So I really recommend trying to use that. There are a lot of use cases where you will find that it's very beneficial. So that just wraps up some of the features in Zoom that we wanted to highlight for this, in order to ensure that your meetings are secure and you feel like you are empowered and you have complete control over who is in the meeting, what can they do, how you can very quickly silence the meeting room to figure out if there's something that's gone wrong, whatever it might be. Do let us know if there's anything else you have questions about, and we will be sure to help support you.